Hi, I'm Symphoneers, and today we're taking a look at Glissa Sunslayer in Historic Brawl. This video is a little bit different from my normal Historic Brawl videos in that this video is brought to you by viewers like you. This is a commissioned video. An anonymous viewer reached out and wanted to, make this deck and kind of deck tech happen. So that's a thing that I offer now. If you click through on the Ko-fi link in the description, you can commission a Historic Brawl video of your very own from me, if you want to. As part of doing that, the anonymous viewer, thank you again to them for, sponsoring this or making this happen. Yeah, as part of that process, the anonymous viewer had some kind of stipulations for brewing the deck. I don't have the email with me, but offhand it was no the One Ring, no Planeswalkers, and there were a couple things about Glissa that they wanted to lean into. One thing they mentioned was wanting to, use Roar of Challenge as a kind of effective board wipe with Glissa, and that alongside shouting out other includes like Phyrexian Obliterator, and one or two other things kind of said to me that, yep, a big focus of the deck, or something that they're into, me reading into those kind of stipulations, was kind of leaning into the keywords on Glissa and using them for kind of atypical or above average effects. So kind of on that note, I threw in a spinning wheel kick, because it's a board wipe in green, woo! Oh, and also connecting with combat damage and stuff and leaning into that. So yeah, new spinning wheel kick for another kind of board wipe effect. They also wanted some untap effects and stuff, so I threw some of those in here. There's actually a lot of them. They've been printing them quite reliably over the past 2 years in standard sets as a draft trick, a pretty standard draft trick. So I decided that a couple is okay, and would be enough that we would see it regularly across games. A bunch of mana dorks and stuff for ramp. A lot of the creatures in the list have Death Touch, and or kind of key off of Death Touch, so that we have other things that kind of we can spinning wheel kick or do a Roar of Challenge thing with if, the opponent has killed Glissa or whatever, and still get more or less the same effect. Nighthawk Scavenger and so on, kind of all throughout the curve. We have various Death Touchers. There is a Finn in here. Finn's not a primary plan or anything, but I was just as long as we're doing a bunch of Death Touchers, why not? And then on top of that stuff, and the kind of combat tricky things we're doing, we have various things that kind of synergize with creatures not getting blocked or being really undesirable to block for the opponent. So we have a Sixth Sense, we have Toski, just to capitalize off of connecting with combat damage. And, one or two other things. We have some just bite effects in Feral Encounter, and I think there's a hard-hitting question in here, and stuff like that. We do have a Shadow Spear in the deck because, hey, if First Strike Death Touch is good, why not add Trample Lifelink on top of that? And yeah, I mentioned all of the Death Touchy creatures, lots of kind of standbys, or Gifted Aetherborn is in here too. We have assorted kind of value cards, Death Sprout Binding the Old Gods. Pelucranos is, for me, or I don't know, I like it, kind of Tribute to the World Tree and Great Hencher, just kind of general value cards too, or green cards I like playing to ensure that cards keep coming. Doomscar Warrior is another connect with combat damage type of card. We do have some just generically powerful includes in Grief and Ripples of Undeath for card selection on the account of Ripples. Grief, we do a Thoughtseize type of thing. Tiny Bones, also another Death Toucher. Bunch of mana dorks to just ensure that we can actually get up enough mana to cast, all our stuff. Virtue of Persistence, or assorted little bits of interaction and things in here as well. Hunter's Talent, another bite effect that I was happy to have an excuse to play, because I don't know, I like this card. I like the the talents and the class enchantments in general. Mosswood Dread Knight, just another value piece. Dark Ritual for jumping up in mana, and Mox Amber too, same idea, like we're trying to keep Glissa on the battlefield, so it's helpful, or the idea is that we use it fairly regularly. Vraska joins up, another, like, just connect with damage thing that rewards us for, you know, hitting them with Glissa. We have a Cheville in here just because we are fairly interactive, and so ideally we leverage Cheville reasonably well. Good old Questing Beast for more death touch. The mana's not super complicated. We have like a Lockthwain in here for a little bit of card draw, and Nykthos, just because it's Nykthos. And that is more or less the deck. If you like this deck and like the videos, same thing as always, like, subscribe, etc. You too can sponsor a historic Brawl video if you want. I was considering doing other formats and stuff too, but I wasn't quite sure if I wanted to do something for Standard or like do a Deck Doctor format for Standard where viewers submit lists and I review them or something. I don't know, just anything to help pay rent, really. Let me know if there's like a different format or video of something that you would like to commission. Anyway, thank you again to the anonymous viewer, and now, with all that rambling out of the way, let's get on to some actual gameplay. Ooh, sure. This is fine. We can Dark Ritual into a Nighthawk Scavenger. The opponent has mulliganed twice and I've been having... Okay, we're going to play Magic. I've, love a phone ding. I've had, like, 3 people mulligan a bunch and then scoop on me. So, I was just like, okay, Magic is happening? Alright. Do this, do a bing bong, opponent goes to 24. Let's do a fetch. 2 islands for the opponent, which is a little weird given that they're playing a Teferi. But, you know, that's a thing. Also, I noticed, before I got any games to fire, I noticed that I was playing Grist, which, well, like, not technically a Planeswalker on the front side. Yeah, Glissa gets countered. Who could have seen that coming? Well, technically not a Planeswalker on the front side was probably against the spirit of the restriction. So I subbed out Grist for an Etched Slith, because it also wants to connect with combat damage and stuff, and I don't know, it worked in my brain. So I think we just let them have a card off of Rhystic Study. Normally I would play around it, but it's Questing Beast. And, you know what? Sure. I'll take that game. It's a little bit clowny. I think their mana was bad or whatever, but we're able to just, you know, Questing Beast, Nighthawk Scavenger, etc., tempo them into the dirt, and I'll take that. Good games to the opponent. Little bit creature light, but I don't hate it. We can just do Overgrown Tomb, tapped, and then do a Winterbloom command, I think. Sure. Yeah. Target player mills 3, and then we do stuff. Okay, good, we hit a land, so that mode actually does anything. Milling over Death Sprout and Vampire of the Dire Moon. Mind Stone for the opponent. Let's just get Glissa down. Relic of Legends? Okay. Relic of Legends can't block. I kind of like getting the Sixth Sense down over the Shield Root. This is soft to specifically like an unsummon or something like that. Let's attack first, and assuming we connect, see what's what. See what we hit. Draw a card. Woodland Chasm. Kalani Ambush. Let's get a tap land out of the way, play out the Knight of the Ebon Legion, and hold up the sudden spinnerets as protection against damage-based removal. Yeah. Mostly protection against, like, lightning strikes or whatever. The opponent plays out the reality chip. Sure. I'll take it. We get a reach counter on the Knight of the Ebon Legion. Who knows if that will be relevant. Let's play out the Llanowar Wastes. I do really like dealing with the reality chip. I have a lot of respect for the chip. We can also maybe do stuff. Kalani Ambush is instant. It would be nice to be able to do the Hunter's Insight, maybe? I guess technically we can attack with the Knight of the Ebon Legion. Yeah, I don't know, this is almost certainly greedy. Listen, I want to. It seems funny. Draw a card, lose a life. Draw 3 from the Hunter's Insight, and draw another card. Cheville. Cool. I like a Cheville. Let's do a Cheville. Fiddle with our cards ceaselessly. Revitalizing Repast? Oh, I want this to be Riposte in my brain, and that's not right. Brotherhood's End. Wow. Okay. Yeah, yeah.
My genius is rotting in this dump.
Sure thing, Ral. You're very special. We should Thoughtseize and get information. Storm stuff. Grape Shot is not really relevant in hand. Counter magic. Psych Rift? I want to say Psych Rift is the most relevant card. I say Grape Shot's not really relevant in hand because if they're doing Storm stuff, Underworld Breach and Past in Flames can both make casting Grape Shot from the graveyard very trivial. And they're like primary win cons. Sorry, they have enough mana to Seagate already? I guess the Relic, sure. I maybe should have done that math. Because, you know, draw 4 or whatever that was is a little awkward. Probably not ideal. Let's grab a black source with this. Do a Kalani Ambush on the Rawl. I still can never decide on a thing. It would have been good to have the Shieldred down before they did that. I don't know if getting it down now is ideal. It's probably fine. Let's draw a card, and I think doing it post-combat is pretty reasonable. Hi, Questing Beast. Yeah, sure. Shieldred. Well, they're tapped out and can't Mystical Dispute, and etc., etc. Opponent goes to 12. The chip can potentially let them bypass Shieldred by playing off the top. Okay, it's another Wrath. Uh... Sorry, visible, counter target spell unless... How about Questing Beast is okay. That's good. Let's try that. Or just do that to start. Play out an Etched Slith. They have had a lot of damage-based removal, so I kind of want to hold up the Leaping Ambush just as defense again. Getting a lot of, or like a surprising amount of mileage just off of +3 toughness. Pirates Pillage, toss a Montagna. Opponent draws 2 cards, makes 2 treasures. We're okay. We're okay. Shadow Spear. Sure. Shadow Spear, equip on the thing that's not the Questing Beast, because the Questing Beast is a very high value bounce target. The Etched Slith is easier to interact with, but... this happens, we deal 6 to them. Get a counter on the Etched Slith. No value out of that text, unfortunately. Play out a Preacher of the Schism. Counterspell? Or, sorry, yeah, Mystical Dispute here. Sure. Right. I don't know, we get that out of hand. Once again, just like weirdly relevant defense versus damage-based removal. Windfall the Celestis into their bin. Consider their digging. Storm is 2. Sure, they're doing a defensive grape shot. Or that's where I think that they're going. We will let them allocate everything. If a storm deck doesn't have a kill on a turn or whatever, a reasonable kind of fallback thing can be, well, I'll grape shot for 6 or whatever, and I would like to keep the Questing Beast standing. Yeah, grape shot for 6 or whatever, effectively wrath the board, and stay alive, and so on, and yes. Yeah, our opponent has no responses to the Leaping Ambush, keeping the Questing Beast alive, so they lose! Woo! Yeah, I probably, again, should have done the, like, Seagate Restoration mana math that game, but aside from that, pretty good. They have, like, weirdly too much interaction, or, I don't know. Whenever I build a storm deck, I don't bother with sweepers or whatever, because I will storm and, you know, win the game. I don't need to interact. But yeah, anyway, good games to the opponent. Utopia Sprawl kind of sucks in this hand, but aside from that, it's not terrible. I'll gamble. In particular, just having an early Call of the Ring is reasonably interesting. Just good early card advantage. Goshen Tai, or Terramorphic Expanse rather, for the Goshen Tai opponent. An irresistible prey would be handy. Tiny Bones. Hi, you're a thing that, can... I guess there's no way to sequence this that's particularly good, just do the Call of the Ring now. But yes, Tiny Bones can catch the Call of the Ring trigger when it happens. Cryptolitherite for the opponent. Witherbloom command. It can hit the Cryptolitherite, but I don't know that that's the best use of our mana right now. We are sort of getting stuck on 2. Or we definitely want to just draw like lands or a forest. Being able to jump up to 4 mana for Henrika would be nice. As is, we can at least like maybe hit Glissa, so that's something. Call of the Ring, Tiny Bones? Yes. Okay. Well, we can play out 2 mana dorks anyway, so that's something. Do this, draw a card, Fabled Passage. Okay, I am just going to drop. I don't know how I feel about the Cryptolitherite. It's either Utopia Sprawl or, yeah, the Cryptolitherite. Sorry, Utopia Sprawl, or we keep the Witherbloom command for dealing with the Cryptolitherite. As is, or like with this hand, I think I'm kind of into curving out and stuff. Like just trying to pressure them as much as possible, especially given that we have a disenchant on our commander in Glissa. I don't know if I've actually played this matchup yet, which seems surprising given how common Goshen Tide Life's origin is, but I would assume Glissa's fairly good here. Like, she's a commander that they will very actively want to, I don't know, stick a witness protection on or something. I was just trying to think of the most annoying thing they could do to Glissa. Opponent makes a little shrine. Yeah, this is a spot too where, Shieldred, okay. Nurturing Peatland's handy. This is a spot where the Doomscar Warrior's actually kind of helpful because it can help Glissa connect. We will say that we'll do the Utopia Sprawl on black, get Glissa down, and I guess, yeah, that feels a little bit awkward just because of how the mana has worked out, but we can do this. Don't hate having a Gift of the Viper. Yeah. Everything else is just so spicy and expensive. I guess theoretically they could trade off the shrine here, but I assume it's what they want to chump block with. Sterling Grove. Other enchantments have Shroud, so we have to deal with the Sterling Grove first. Does have sack for 1 and a tutor, so. Honden of Night's Reach. Alright. Okay. Great. I hate it when I'm right, or I hate it when I know the opponent's deck and can predict it. They are tapped out, so we can Death Sprout the Witness. No, we can't even Death Sprout the Witness protection. We'd have to shoot our legitimate business person, and they just took out a loan to open a cake shop, and that seems rude. No, I don't know. I don't particularly like our options here, which is why I'm stalling. Beep. Bye, Shieldred. It's take a look in their hand. This might be a mistake, but reprieve, I don't know, cruelty of Gix. Do some stuff. Toski. The Honden is awkward. Yeah. Yeah, we had the option of like Death Sprout Glissa to recast Glissa and getting Ronus down just seemed okay to me. I don't know. Doing anything through the Honden might be awkward. They spit out some more 1/1s. The good news is they don't have like particularly lethal shrines right now, so that's something. Let's do... I don't know. Just suit up our legitimate business person. Draw a card, lose a life. Etched Slith. Okay. Play out things from hand. Do all this. Go vroom vroom. I definitely should have done that. Attacked before dumping my hand. Just from a play, doing an advantageous play. God, words are hard. I did my big set review earlier today, which was like me talking for 3.5 hours, solid, no breaks, no breathers or anything. So I'm a little just like mush-mouthed or whatever. They have 1 billion mana, but nothing immediately to do with it, maybe? Oh yeah, that's text on that card. So now they grab Sanctum of All or whatever. Right, I was feeling good until, yeah. There is more text on this card, turns out. And now is when the game gets, like, dangerous and or hard. That's annoying, just because if we had to Death Ray Shaman on a prior turn, we could have, like, countered that. Call of the One Ring, Gifted Aetherborn, Ripples of Undeath. Do we just smash in with everything? We might just smash in with everything. You're welcome to reprieve this opponent. Wow! Who could have seen it coming? We'll do this. We will... Deathray Shaman, exile the Terramorphic Expanse for a black so we can play out the Gifted Aetherborn. Once again, I maybe am supposed to, like, hold stuff. God Eternal Aronis, okay. Black. Well, goodbye to the God Eternal Aronis. We get to connect with the Etched Slith. Mosswood Dread Knight, doot. Roar of Challenge would actually be kind of helpful here, because we could make the legitimate business person, or force blocks, but we're tapped out. Okay. Until the end of stuff and things. Right. Menace, the Sterling Grove, Honden tosses the Roar of Challenge. Cruelty of Gix grabs stuff. We're pretty close to being able to scoop, right? Yeah. Yeah, Sanctum of All is going to start happening, which is a thing. Goshentai can keep recurring the cruelty of Gix to keep tutoring big threats or whatever. Witness Protection, Tainted Adversary is vaguely fun, but not super relevant. I am gonna say that we can scoop. Yeah, we just get shrined out of that game. We don't get to use our commander, which can be an issue when your deck is entirely built around using the commander that you, and etc. Rip. I think I like this hand in particular. Ripples and Vraska Joins Up are neat. I haven't actually had a game where I've gotten to play with Vraska Joins Up, so it would be nice to get some value out of that. Ripples has a rolling effect that takes a turn to kick in and doesn't require combat damage. So we probably do like Ripples on 2 and Vraska on turn 4 after we've played out Glissa. That's my immediate thought as to how to do stuff. I guess the Forest actually... I'm being fiddly already for no reason. We'll simply draw a swamp? Maybe? That would be nice if we did. No, okay. Yeah, I should have just done this on one. I was like, maybe I'll get to be cheeky and do something weird. I was like, no, just develop your mana like a normal person. You can't always rely on streamer/YouTuber luck as much as you might want to. So, Fabled Passage, Swamp here is nice. Roar of Challenge just for Goreclaw seems a little bit awkward, or like, I don't know, kind of overkill. Should we ask Goreclaw a question? Yay, we do in fact ask a bear a question. And you know, seems relevant, or seems good, seems decent. Double Death Touch Glissa, Brain Help, draw a card. Okay, Delighted Halfling here is nice, just more mana. I still feel very clowny about how I developed mana this game, but I don't know. Guy or Engineer for the opponent, they have Emote doing emote things. Should we, commit a horrific assault? That feels less fun to say than ask a bear a question or whatever. Shoot emote. I'll take it. Yeah, we're able to just be interactive and, you know, bully, emote, cascade ramp stuff. So, you know, good games to the opponent. Yes. Tiny Bones on 1 is kind of nice. Hi, Ragavan. Tiny Bones on 1 continues to be kind of nice, or like, if Tiny Bones' entire purpose this game is just blocking Ragavan, great. I will take that. Okay. So we do get land, or untapped land. We can just Hunter's Talon Ragavan. I kind of want to Hunter's Talent the Mirror Convert because it can tap for Winota. Immediately having to make decisions. Whee! I like shooting Ragavan. Yeah, do I? We could also do this. It does pretty strongly reward them for blocking. Oh, this just happens? Okay. Maybe we do this then, or like, it's a little bit of a clowny high stride, but yeah, we make the block really appealing for them and then go, haha. Ruby Medallion, sure. Ragavan continues to vibe. Moisturized in his lane, thriving, etc., etc. Let's just grab a... I kind of want a duel. Dinging ourselves for 2 is always kind of weird or whatever, but... Actually, we're maybe supposed to... Attack. Block with the Ragavan? A little bit? No? Okay. We do get the Sixth Sense trigger, and also technically we can cast the Mirror Convert. Decline. We do want to draw a card, though. Decline because we want to shoot Ragavan. Letting your opponent have Ragavan is generally not an advisable way to win a game of Magic. And sorry, we've already made a hit a land for the turn. Do a Thoughtseize. I probably should have done this before. Shoot Mural. Winota comes down. We've kept the board pretty clear, which is good, and then we can do Glissa. I don't think there's anything we want to cast more than Glissa. I say forgetting the Ragavan immediately. I mean, Glissa's still very good as a Winota blocker, so it's not, like, totally dumb. But listen. Does feel a little bit goofy. Oh, we could have done stuff. It's fine. I totally didn't just massively punt that turn. Sword of Forged Frontier. Equip Winota. Glissa can no longer block Winota. They do forge stuff. Geist and something else do some things. Good news is we do have the Phyrexian Obliterator to work with, so I think that is relevant. Yeah, I like attacking with both these here. We do this, we draw a card. We do this, we get a Ragavan. Cast with Tiny Bones, paying a green for it. And we also draw a card. Shadow Spear's nice. Okay, we have a Ragavan that cannot block this. Sure. I'll take that. Which 6 are you... I have the distinct feeling that the opponent did not read Phyrexian Obliterator or, like, know what the card does, and regretted their life choices. Yeah, I feel like my level of play tonight has been a little bit shaky or a little bit sleepy or whatever, but, you know, that's a funny way to win that game, at least, or, you know, I'll take it. Good games to the opponent. Thoughtseize is an okay turn 1. Our turn 2 is like kind of nothing, and then we Darkstar Augur or something if we draw a third. Like, I kind of want to just free mulligan this. I like this hand a little bit more, weirdly, because it's actually kind of like slower. In particular, we have a spinning wheel kick, and spinning wheel kick is funny. You are allowed to do plays or to like hands arbitrarily. Yeah, I would quite like to get, spinning wheel kick even just for 2 or something. In this video, get a pseudo wrath happening. Vampire of the Dire Moon, nothing in the graveyard for tiny bones. Sure. We will just enters tapped the turn timber, serpentine wood. I've never read this the land name out. I always just think of it as turn timber symbiosis. But yeah, we play that out tapped. Was definitely picking a weird way to say that, and then the opponent can maybe Chatterfang, perhaps? This is relevant to my interests. We will play out a Revitalizing Repast as a land and do a Hunter's Talent to shoot Chatterfang. And that happens. Just boop in for 2. Grave Pact. I'm sure that's fine. I'm sure I don't need to worry about that, right? Kind of want a Doomscar Warrior. It feels a little bit weird to slow roll Glissa, but just getting a card in hand seems nice, and also counter on the Vampire of the Dire Moon. Is alright. Phyrexian Obliterator. We don't actually have 4 black yet, but it's fine. We can evoke it to grief. Don't think we want to. I wonder if we can punch through a Grave Pact effectively. Maybe, big maybe. Yeah, sorry, just doing a thing. Level up the Hunter's Talent. And then we would like to Doomscar Warrior for sure. And I suppose Vampire of the Dire Moon. Amp the power on the Vampire of the Dire Moon because it didn't have Trample. Hunter's Talents level 2 gives it that. Opponent goes to 13. We get to C4 here. Let's just grab a land. Darkstar Augur is quite appealing there, of course, although with the Obliterator in hand, I would like to make sure we can play it. Or sorry, we have the Bloodstained Mind. I don't know, I'm sleepy tonight. We will simply keep hitting them with Doomscar Warrior and keep drawing cards and it'll be fine. But yeah, Toski has to attack this turn. Chatterfang might get replayed? No, Infernal Grasp on Glissa, okay. Glissa to the command zone. I feel like giving them cards is more dangerous for right now than the kind of tempo denial, or feels bad, but the kind of tempo denial of just stopping card draw. I don't know. Mosswood Dread Knight, clap, 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 clap. Let's, do a thing. No, I do want to just get the Phyrexian Obliterator down, let's do a swamp. Next, do this. Once again, giving trample to the Vampire of the Dire Moon. Play more creatures that are funny to Spinning Wheel Kick. They've been pretty narrow. We're like playing, you know, Indestructible, Enchantment, Artifact. This happens, we tank the Grey Pact hit, just like sack the Vampire. Hooded Blightfang's nice. Yeah, and then here we do this, and I suppose just play out the Mosswood Dread Knight. Clap, 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 clap. Maybe we evoke Grief? Maybe we evoke Grief, actually, as a treat. This is pretty card negative, but we're in a very winning position. Those are not what they need here. Yeah, I guess just... Skurioka scarier? The Knave requires more setup to be scary? Knave happens. Toski has to attack every turn. Sorry, I don't know why that didn't click in my brain. I think that's why I was just like, yeah, we really should get the Phyrexian Obliterator down, even though I was a little bit goofy. Yeah, I didn't really internalize this. Toski goes bye-bye. Mosswood Dread Knight tanks the Grave Pact hit for us. They decide to Swiftfoot Boots the Knave post-combat. Bloodstained Mire is this. This is overkill. Yeah, we attack with all of this. All our tramplers and do some things. We don't even get to Spinning Wheel Kick. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know. I continue to be... to be a little bit clowny in how I'm playing, but I like that game. Just the Toski attacking into the Obliterator is like, oh buddy, oh no. Good games to the opponent? Sure. Ripples of Undeath is cool and good. And then we can Glissa and do the rest of the hand. Not a very interactive hand, not a very, like, we're doing anything clever hand, just value engine and big death touchers or whatever. And, you know, it seems fine. Surveil land is nice here because we can... I don't even think we really want a land. I mean, maybe I'm supposed to just keep Nykthos up because it's Nykthos, but... I ain't reading that. Mabel. Necroblossom Snarl, reveal a forest, ripples of undeath. Yeah, do Glissa on 3. Then I think just the Doomscar Warrior, or maybe they'll play other stuff out too. Mill, Blightfang Toski. Decline. Toski is appealing, but I want to just get Glissa down this turn. Or sorry, did I say Blightfang? No, Toski. Toski is appealing. Blightfang's fun, but less important. Land is not super necessary there either, I don't think. Like, we have just a bunch of stuff we want to play in hand, so. Blade, hold, war, whip. Okay, 2/2 double strike happens. And vibes. Mill, spinning wheel, kick dark, tutelage. I'm gonna decline again, maybe. Yeah. We continue to just have stuff that we want to do. In this case, I think we kind of like just playing the Doomscar Warrior. making Glissa very large and attacking. Cool. So we get both the Glissa trigger to draw a card and the Doomscar Warrior proc. Weird game in that just, like, we have not struggled at all for the card advantage that Ripples of Undeath provides. We've had enough stuff to do from hand, and currently have 6 cards in hand. Hi, Nahiri. You're a card we'd maybe like to Horrific Assault. Although they are... Oh, sure? I guess I get it. I will do the, like, essentially free block. We go to 17. This happens. Ripples of Undeath. Gix and Grief. Oh. Auto pay. Grief. Maybe that's incorrect, I don't know. So... Sorry, just doing a think. Shoot the 2/2 double striker. Compelled Duel this turn, or like here, actually being very helpful for bypassing Swiftfoot Boots, which is fun. Bloodstained Mire, do whatever, just grab a tapped land, evoke Grief, tossing the adversary, Grief happens, we do this to protect ourselves from whatever is coming up, what is coming up. Nothing super important. So yeah, we're in a spot here where they have to block Glissa, and then we draw 2 cards off of like Doomscar Warrior plus Glissa, Glissa doesn't have trample yet. I was thinking of I guess Shadow Spear from a prior game. But yeah, that's a very, very good turn for us. So, you know, I get it. Good games to the opponent. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to call the recording there just because it's pretty late at night, and I'm sleepy. No luck getting Spinning Wheel Kick, Roar Challenge like fun sweeper games, but aside from that, I feel like the deck did quite well, or there were 1 or 2 games where the untapped tricks were surprisingly useful just defensively, which was, I don't know, kind of fun. Some Obliterator games happened, and yeah, I don't know, just overall I feel like the deck performed quite nicely, or kind of did the thing that it wants to do. So yeah, thanks again to the anonymous viewer for sponsoring this video. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching the video, and an extra big thank you to the Patreon patrons and YouTube members that help make these videos possible. Hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.